So you decided you want to start a budget, but you don't know where to start. Well, in this video, we're going to show you exactly how to do that, how to get started, and we're even going to provide you with a free tool that is going to help you get up and running.
Yeah, we are really excited that you decided to start a budget. I mean, this is going to change your life in so many ways, and we really want to just help you make it so that it works for you. We have a lot of really good ideas so that your budget actually is enjoyable and not a strain and not ugh.
Anybody who's been around our channel for a while knows that we talk about it a lot because it has been such an impactful thing. It's affected our lives in so many positive ways. It allowed us to pay off all of our debt, including our mortgage. It was a big part of that, and not to mention us reaching a lot of other financial goals. So it's just been a really important part.
Yeah, and it's helped us get on the same page, which I think is just really huge.
Yeah, so much more peace in our marriage, and
yeah,
it's just been really good. All right, so first things first, in order to start building your budget, you need to know a couple things. You need to know how much money you're actually bringing in. Surprisingly, not everybody knows this. Now, you know your salary. I know I get paid whatever, $20,000, $40,000 a year at my job or whatever that is, but you need to know what your actual take-home pay is, and so you need to find that out.
So you're talking about what we're bringing in after taxes are taken out and all that stuff?
Yep, because that's the money that we actually have that we can spend on stuff. So that's the first step, is figuring that out. So next, after we get that sorted out, which should be pretty easy, just go look at your paycheck and figure out where your net take-home pay is. Next, we need to talk about your expenses. We need to figure out how much you're spending each month on everything you're spending.
So this would be your rent or mortgage, your cell phone bills.
Yep. All fixed expenses and all variable expenses.
Gotcha.
All right, so there's a couple ways you can do this. You can go back through your bank statements and just look at all of your expenses for the previous month and just kind of see where you're spending your money and how that's broken down. Or you can use a free tool like mint.com or Personal Capital, either of them. And once you get all signed up and connected with them, they'll be able to show you exactly how much you spent for the last month or the last couple months and see where you've been actually spending your money. And at this point, after you have that information, go ahead and download our free worksheet. We have a free budgeting worksheet, and you can plug all that information in there, and you can see how your income stacks up against your expenses. And so you can see what adjustments need to be made in order to get your budget to kind of balance out. And this is going to be an invaluable tool for you as you're getting started. So we'll have a link to this down in the description below, or hopefully a link up above here for you to click on to get to it. And if you don't want to use a worksheet, you could always do this with just an old-fashioned pencil and paper as well. All right, so then once you get everything plugged into the spreadsheet and you can kind of see how your budget is laid out and how much you have budgeted for each category, at this point, we need to pick a method for actually maintaining the budget. And for this, you basically have three different options, and we're gonna go through the pros and cons of each.
So yeah, the first one, which we all know and we've all heard about, is the cash envelopes. Now this is what my parents did, and probably my grandparents and my great-grandparents also.
Yeah, and so, you know, this is putting the cash in the envelopes for the groceries or for the household goods or whatever. And you just spend it out of that, and once the cash is gone, it's gone. And so you have to pull from another envelope if you want to spend more money on groceries or whatever else. So the big benefit, the pro of this system, is that there's accountability. Like, there's no cheating it because you're dealing with real money, and you can't fudge it, you can't fake it. Like, it's just actually,
it's either there or it's not. But the downside of this is you have to exclusively use cash. Now this can be a little bit of a problem at sometimes when you just want to use your credit card, or if you're buying something online, it's difficult to use cash for that type of system.
All right, so that's your first option of how you can kind of maintain your budget. Second option is some sort of budgeting software or budgeting app. Now there are tons of them out there these days. There's a whole bunch. I've tried a whole bunch of them. And
we've tried them all, actually.
And a lot of them have a ton of great bells and whistles and perks and features, and you can spend a lot of money on them and whatever, all the stuff. The pro here that a lot of them have is you can use a debit card or a credit card and actually have transactions imported to it. So that's really nice that you're not dealing with the cash stuff and having to write everything down and whatever. Now, the downside is, unlike the cash envelope system, is that most of these systems, in fact, every single one I've tried, doesn't offer any real accountability because you're dealing with numbers on a screen and it's not your real money. So even though it's importing transactions, you can fudge it and you can fake it. And what I've noticed, what I've observed with most of the readers I've talked to, is that people tend to do that. And so you overspend in a category and you're just like, well, I'll let it slide till next month, and I'll fix it next month. And,
I mean,
and we did that how many times?
Too many to count. But I mean, the other problem for me was that it just got too complicated.
Yeah.
Like, I was okay with it for a while, but once it started to get to the point where we were over in our budget and there was no way for me to fix it, I was kind of like, this is your mess
right,
now.
we're done budgeting.
And I'm over it. Like, you
Yeah.
you're going to have to fix it and then tell me what to do because it just got way too complicated for me.
Yeah, and so while budgeting software can work for some people, like I've seen people who have made it work, there's a lot of people who can't and who don't. And so ultimately that led us to the third option, is which we use now, which we call the real money method.
Yeah.
And it's a combination of the two. So it's the accountability of the cash envelope system, but then it's also the convenience of being able to use a debit or credit card. And so we love that. And a lot of our students who have gone through our course
super simple.
like have found it to be so much helpful. So particularly the ones who have struggled with budgeting software have really enjoyed it. And it's a very simple method. Basically, you're using your bank account to budget. So instead of using cash envelopes, you're actually using your bank account.
And it's easy enough for me to use. And if it's easy enough for me, I'm telling you, it's easy enough for you.
So the pros of this method are that it's quick, it's easy, and it has the accountability. Now, the only downside here is that you need to be able to open a bank account. So if you aren't able to open a checking account, you're not going to be able to use this at this point. But if you can, and if you struggled with budgeting software or the cash envelope system in the past, this is something you might want to check out. So if you're interested in that, you can find out more by clicking the link up above or down below. And in the meantime, if you haven't gotten the budgeting spreadsheet worksheet combo yet, definitely click on over to get that so you can get up and running. If you have any questions for us, hit us up down in the comments. We'll do our best to get back to you. What else? Hit the like button if you found this helpful so we know, and subscribe for more practical money tips and biblical principles on how to manage your money wisely. Hey, thanks so much for watching the video. If you haven't yet taken our money mastery quiz, be sure to do that.
Yeah, it's just a super quick 2-minute quiz, and it's going to help you understand how good you are with your money.
Yeah, and it's going to provide a custom report giving you specific suggestions on how you can reach your financial goals up to 10 times faster. Head over to seedtime.com/quiz to get started now.